Hey guys, Danny here. As you will have seen, I have a Airpods Pro Clone, bit of a mouthful, and I will be reviewing that for you today. I want to get one thing out of the way, and that is that this video is not going to be a comparison to the original version of the AirPods Pros. There are plenty of videos out there, and as I don't own the originals and I don't have an iPhone, I wanted to do this review a little bit differently from most of the others, and just review these as a standard pair of earbuds and compare them to my knowledge that I have of lots of earbuds that I've reviewed already. So hopefully this should give you a little bit of a different perspective if you are thinking of picking these up. Now, this product was sent to me for review, and as always you can find a link down in the description if you want to pick these up. As I've said before, even in terms of the original AirPods, I'm not a huge fan of their design. These ones are better because they have a smaller stalk on the side, and I just think they don't look as ugly. They do have some different features compared to a lot of other earbuds on the market, such as they have a sensor so that if you take them out of your ear, it will pause and start your music when you put them back in. I will show you that later on. In terms of their overall design, I think they are okay. Because of their small compact size, they do suffer with not the greatest battery life, especially in terms of how many charges you get out of the case. There are definitely better options in that aspect, but that sacrifice of a bigger battery, you are getting a more compact product, which may be more suitable for some of you if you're more active or on the go and you want something small and lightweight just to put in your pocket. I was a little bit disappointed to see that these come with a Lightning to USB-C, which is a little bit unusual. Most products would come with I think it's a USB-A or standard USB as some people call it on one side. So because these have a USB-C cable, you're going to have to plug these into your smartphone if it has a USB-C slot. Or if you have a charger which supports USB-C, you can use that. But I think most people are still going to have standard USB chargers. So it's also worth noting that the Lightning slot on the case was very tight, and I almost had to force the cable in, or at least it felt that way. Because of course this is a clone of the AirPods Pro, it is using the standard little LED system to show you how much battery you have and the general status of the device. This isn't my favorite way of doing this because there are plenty of earbuds out there now which will show your battery status of your earbuds and even the case itself with a built-in display. And if done correctly, it doesn't take up that much space, so you don't sacrifice much battery. This is definitely my preferred method, as it gives you a really clear, easy indication of how much charge is left in the case and the earbuds. It's worth noting if you're using an iPhone, you will have a better experience using this device. On the Android, you will get a battery indication in your Bluetooth panel. Okay, so let's talk about some of the features that these earbuds have. And one of them is they are touch sensitive on the side, so you can single tap to pause and play your music. You can double tap to skip to the next track. And there's also some options to adjust the volume and also bring up Siri or your other assistant of choice. I did find the touch sensitive buttons took a little while to get used to, as they were quite sensitive and I often did press them by mistake. The earbuds also have proximity sensors, so when they're in your ear they detect that and music will play. When you remove them, it will automatically pause your music and resume it when you put them back in. This is a handy feature. I think this will be a mixed bag. Some people will like it and some won't. On the Android at least, there doesn't seem to be a way to turn this off, so that is worth bearing in mind. Sound quality was a mixed bag. I found them okay for their price point, and they are slightly higher than average compared to other earbuds that I've tested. I felt like the bass could have used a bit more punch, and often I did want a little bit more volume out of them. I didn't get too much distortion when playing them at max volume, but I did kind of get this effect at times when playing songs on Spotify, almost like the vocals were playing a little bit of a distance. This is something a lot of these devices do suffer from. Of course, you can also use these for calls. The call quality coming through to my end was absolutely fine and I could hear the person clearly. The person on the other end did say there was a little bit of an echo, but I was out in my conservatory, so that could be a factor. And they said I was very clear, but I was a little bit quiet. These are perfectly fine for calls, but you're definitely not going to be blown away by their quality. Now let's talk about the comfort of this device, because there has been a pretty big change over the previous version of AirPods, and that of course is that they are now using in-ear ear tips. So you do get a much nicer fit, and these feel much more stable in your ears. The previous version, if you was doing something like this, they would pretty likely fall out quite quickly. So this is definitely a step up and a move in the right direction. The Bluetooth connection seemed pretty solid. I didn't have any dropping in and out of the connection. Of course, this is dependent on how close your device that you're using is to you, such as your smartphone. Lastly, let's talk about battery life. You can expect to get about 3 to 4 hours out of the earbuds themselves, which is definitely respectable, and you can get maybe 4 to 5 charges out of the case itself. Again, not a crazy number, but it certainly should be okay for most of you who can get to a charge point after a few days. Wireless charging is also supported, and you can use the earbuds independently of each other, which is a question some of you often ask. So, are these earbuds worth picking up? Well, if you're thinking of doing so, there's no major points that I would say to discourage you from doing that. They are all round a decent performer. They're not going to excel in any one area, but if you want something that looks like AirPods Pros and has a pretty decent performance, these are a pretty solid buy. If you want something with exceptional battery life or exceptional sound, these aren't going to be for you. But if you can deal with that, then these are a pretty good pair of earbuds, and I think you will like them. As always, if you'd like to pick up this product, I will put a link down in the description for you. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing for more videos like this one. And of course, I will see you in the next one.